Hey friend, how you doing? Welcome to Soulvine. This is Jamie and we are checking in for your energies. Pisces, sun, moon and rising will be the most dominant. So let's connect in and see what is going on and how we can best support your journey. All right. Let's get going for our Pisces. Thank you. What's current energy, Spirit? And how can we best support their journey? So we've got the Two of Pentacles, the Five of Swords, and the Nine of Swords. Let's jump in a little more. If you're new here, welcome. And if you feel connected today, guys, and you haven't liked or subscribed, please do. It allows us to stay and keep the energies alive. All right, Knight of Swords, Queen of Wands, and the Knight of Cups. We also have another subliminal that's been released. So if you want to check that out on the other channel, it is the first link below. We've got Nine of Pentacles. The Ace of Wands. Beautiful. And the Empress energy. Okay, let's see what's underneath. We've got the Six of Swords. Okay. So getting connected in to the energy for you today, Pisces. Just remember, this is a general read. So only take what resonates and let's manifest what you want. All right. Two of Pentacles, Five of Swords with the Nine of Swords. There's something going on here around some sort of information or mindset that's in conflict right now. Maybe you felt like things had been balanced out in a situation or kind of working out, but you're finding yourself a little bit in conflict here and it's on your mind, okay? Whatever this is or whatever this situation is. Like I said, I feel like there may have been a conversation or a situation where you thought things were okay, or you're looking at a way on how to make something, just feel like it's working out or balancing. If for some of you, this could be related to your finances, or it could be a way of, two energies here right now coming into some form of harmony and balance, or that's what you thought was happening. And then there may have been a conversation, some form of conflict that has kind of kicked up again. That's on your mind here. With the Knight of Swords, the Queen of Wands, and the Knight of Cups, I feel if this is the case, there may have been a little bit of back and forth in the energy with this Knight of Swords, where things are direct, upfront, open, but there's also this element of progress and then not progress. It's kind of a little bit of a push and pull energy. The Queen of Wands, if this is sitting in your energy right now on how you're showing up in the world, or a person that you're dealing with, this is a person who's pretty confident in themselves. They're pretty clear on what they want and where they're going. Or that's how they see you, right? Whatever this situation is, it's presenting itself either with some form of recognition here. This could be an apology or someone coming towards you and expressing how they're feeling, but they're coming from a place from their heart, okay? A place where they care, a place where they just want to let you know what matters to them, okay? With the Nine of Pentacles, the Ace of Wands, and the Empress energy, if someone has made you feel a little less than, or if you've been feeling a situation hasn't, come off the ground or worked out in a direction that puts you in a pretty strong place, I feel there's going to be a bit of a turnaround here, okay? I feel like you're getting into a place or a space where you are being recognized. You either have someone coming forward to acknowledge that. Maybe some of you, like I said, if finances have been at the top of your mind at the moment, or you're looking at your career, I do feel like there's a potential opportunity here to expand and to grow and to get into a place that you're feeling quite successful in, because we are showing a new beginning, both with this Ace of Wands and the Empress energy. And these new beginnings are something that really are connected to a fresh spark, that are really connected to something. It's interesting. I'm getting starting from the ground up, but at the same time, while it's starting from the ground up, it could just be a new experience that you're stepping into that allows you to come into a place already holding space with this Empress energy that, you know, you have everything you need to make something build and grow. And it requires nurturing. It requires believing in yourself. It requires, you know, this trust in yourself on what is possible here. I feel like there's a lot of depth on what you bring and how you show up, but you're also, like I said, being seen this way, and I feel being recognized. So whoever or whatever this is coming through, I feel there's going to be a little turn of events if you've been doubting, if you've been worrying, or if you've been concerned about the direction of something. You do have the Six of Swords, the Tower, and the Strength energy. So for some of you, you could have moved away from something or someone. Maybe you've made a change, or you're making a change here, and maybe that's a little bit on your mind. It's interesting too that we do show the Three of Swords here. So I feel like there's been a little bit of a shake-up somewhere here. But whatever this shake-up has been, like I said, I feel that you're moving through this. And whatever you're moving through, there's new opportunities that are presenting itself to you or towards you, okay? Let's take a peek underneath what's challenging and influencing this. So whether or not you've already experienced this situation or something that you uncover this week, we've got the Eight of Wands. Just seems like there might be some more conversations or more reflection here. We've got the Three of Pentacles. I just feel there's a little lack in certainty right now, and that could be the issue that you're experiencing, and Death energy. For some of you, you may have had a change on the work front. Maybe there's been a shift in your position or the structure around you, which is showing up here. As I said, we did have the Six of Swords underneath and some form of shake-up. But what I'm gathering, again, there's conversations that are happening, I feel, along with movement. I feel like there's just change. And with this Eight of Wands that's influencing this, I'm just getting like back and forward communication. I'm not sure if this is texting directly, but I just feel like there's some conversations here about I keep just hearing about you, okay? About perhaps what you're wanting to create, what position you want to be in, what you're looking at for your life. But I do seek or acknowledge there's seeking of some change and a way to start afresh. And starting afresh can be, you know, choosing to go a bit of a different direction. There's this little sense of frustration of why something isn't just working out. I feel like you're coming in with the right intentions here, Pisces, you know, really trying to hold your ground and stay strong in what you're wanting to do or what you're wanting to achieve here. But I'm also recognizing it just hasn't been a smooth experience for you. But I do feel like you're shifting out of that, okay? Let's see where this is all going. We've got the Creator energy. So that's something that started off a little bit rocky, or maybe, you know, you started to notice some things shift and change, doors closing, you know, something that's putting a barrier between what you're really meant to have and what you actually want. I feel like there's something better coming on in that you can't see yet, okay, with this Creator energy. We do have the King of Swords, and I feel like with this, things will start to make sense. You have the Nine of Wands. You've got the Eight of Cups. Yeah, you're definitely shifting out of the harder energy. Yep. We've got the Six of Wands. And the Hanged Man. And underneath we've got the Queen of Swords. So I feel with this King of Swords, you know, if there are further conversations going on around a situation or why something isn't working out, or trying to understand why can't you get on the same page, or why you can't secure something specific, I feel like you're going to be having some pretty, you know, high level conversations here with this King of Swords energy. And I feel what's important, what you're being asked right now, is to acknowledge, you know, perhaps also your energy towards it. I think it's great, you know, having boundaries and being strong and standing up for yourself. But I am recognizing here that something needs to change, because you may be coming from a place of what's missing versus what you have or what you bring to the table. There's a little bit of doubt and yeah, I just feel the way something's being looked at or acknowledged or spoken. You know, sometimes we can really reflect on what we're experiencing at the time, right? Because we're doing the work, we're showing up, we're doing all the right things. And sometimes then when we look at everything else, it's like, well, if I'm doing the right things, maybe, you know, they're not doing the right things, or they're not meeting me the way I need to. And I can totally understand that, you know, idea. I just feel like, what if you just let go a little bit, okay, with this energy? Because it's like you're constantly fighting a battle. Maybe you feel like you're constantly in survival mode. And how can we shift that up? There are things that I feel, like I said, doors closing or doors keep revolving. And you're finding yourself in situations where you just can't seem to get to that golden path, that golden gateway, that's something that you just really want to freaking work, you know? But I am seeing that there is a shift and change here that's occurring that can allow you to, either you've got to drop it or allow you to drop this heavy guard that you have around yourself or around a situation. Just be careful that you're not being too stuck in your ways, in a sense of, creating barriers rather than solutions, okay? There's just something there that's flagging for you to look at right now. But what I do see is, with whatever change is coming through, wherever you're not feeling truly fulfilled, wherever you feel like someone or a situation is missing the mark here, you're going to pass through this with this Six of Wands energy. I feel like you're going to cross the line with this, okay? You will see, or you will be able to acknowledge the win or the receivership of this. The Hanged Man too is still, you know, the question of maybe what do you need to change and when is this going to come through? And no doubt that you've had that for some time here. But the Hangman is also at a place of pause. So there is something here that could be pausing, or something here that's asking you to reflect on a deeper level right now, and taking, you know, a bit of a bird's eye view or a bit of a arm length approach to the situation here for this to succeed. You do have the Queen of Swords, the Temperance energy, and the Ten of Cups. I like this because, again, it's getting clear. It's still standing in your power, but it's getting clear on what you want, but also to how can you work with this to support this situation or to support this dynamic, whatever it might be. Because what I am sensing here, working through this, you will get to a place of understanding, of connection, of depth, and feel really happy with where this is all going. It just seems the energy is very protective right now, the way that you're showing up to this situation. And of course, no one wants to feel hurt. You know, sometimes there's that trust element of how others are showing up. Sometimes it's like, well, I don't want to be let down again, whatever that might be. You know, whether you guys are applying for jobs, whether you are trying to make a change in your career, whether you're, you know, wanting to understand where you stand in a situation, or how you feel about someone, there's just still this little bit of element here of reflection that I feel is being asked, and it's being asked with love, because, you know, there's always two sides of the coin, and there's still that third side, which is the round part on the edge. So sometimes how you see things, how someone else sees a situation and what's actually going on, while it's all valid, sometimes it's just those little things in between that can really make a difference. But sometimes we do need to look at ourselves or look at what can we do differently. And honestly, one of the things in neurolinguistics is the most flexible person wins. And that's a mindset of being flexible in your approach, because the more that you can be flexible and find win-win solutions, usually you come out on top, okay? The person who's more rigid, who's more, this is how it goes, I'm right, they're the ones that are constantly battling internally, or it's always a fight, So really have just a think about it, because it just seems to be flagging here. A fair bit in terms of this situation, okay? Because I do see here that once you can kind of get to a place of balance, while it may take a little bit of time and a little bit of reflection, I do feel that you can get here. I am sensing conversations happening. And two, it could be just simply expressing what's on your mind or showing up in a different way. What I am acknowledging, and I think it's wonderful, is that you are standing up here in terms of your direction and your focus. And I think that's really important. And I am seeing opportunity arise here, but I'm also sensing that there is some change that's occurring, or like I said, some doors that just aren't opening for you right now, and that's on purpose, okay? But I do feel there's another way to navigate this thing or this situation that you're wanting to come to a place of, feeling connected within yourself and achieving the things that matter to you. But there is asking a lot of reflection right now on you and your energy and the way you're showing up. Can you do something different? Because there is some change that is needed here, because something is missing that emotional component, okay, with this Eight of Cups, because usually it's something missing. So are you focusing on what's missing, or are you focusing on the things that you have or the things that person brings, or is there something different that you can do as well? And it's not necessarily about the other person or the situation at hand. It's about you, right? At the end of the day, this is about you, and I guess how you want to keep stepping forward and how you can bring more peace to your own life as you're moving through this. I know some days are easier than others, but there is something here to really reflect on, because you have a lot of influence, okay, in your approach and how you are. And I think orchestrating that or connecting to that is really going to support you here. I'm going to leave it there, Pisces. Stay well, and I look forward to connecting with you tomorrow. Bye now.